This is QTV News. I am Udu Gajaga and welcome. Thank you for joining us. First, here are the main news headlines. Germany's Minister of Economic Cooperation and Development, Dr. Gerd Müller, called on President Barrow at State House. In a second engagement, Dr. Gerd Müller, who visited the Gambia, also visited Kanifing municipality, where a major project is underway to rehabilitate the Bakote dump site. The Ministers of Information, Justice and Agriculture appeared before lawmakers on Wednesday to respond to matters connected to their ministries. The Gambia Police Force have arrested over 100 people during Operation Zero Crime and also arrested foreign nationals for obtaining money by false pretense. And in sports news, as the race to the Tokyo Olympic Games hots up, African champions Gambia are seeking a ticket to the Games in volleyball. We visited them in their training camp as the games begin next week. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. The German Minister for Economic Cooperation and Development, Dr. Gerd Müller, on Thursday met President Barrow, where he announced a €10 million support to Gambia's health system. Aliou Cisse reports.
Minister Dr. Gerd Müller arrived in the country on Wednesday to hold talks with government, mainly about the country's health system and the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister Müller is on a visit to West Africa. Their discussion centered on strengthening the good relations between Germany and the Gambia. It was revealed that Germany is going to support Gambia with an additional €10 million, especially for health and the fight against COVID-19. The closed-door meeting also touched on job creation through vocational training to lower migration by creating more job opportunities in the Gambia. Germany remains a major destination for illegal migrants living in the tiny West African nation. Many are in Germany and face possible deportation. The Bavarian conservative politician Dr. Müller had also visited, among other places, the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital's Demban Clinic, where Health Minister Dr. Samate provided a brief history of COVID-19 in the Gambia and a background on the local ongoing vaccination campaign. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Still on Dr. Gerd Müller's visit to the Gambia, he also visited the other countries, that is in Sierra Leone, before coming to the Gambia. He presided over the laying of the foundation construction of projects in Bakote, and this event was covered by our Babukar Si, and he now reports.
It is of great importance and benefit to the Kanifing municipality as the minister presided over the foundation laying of projects ranging from construction components for the sustainable waste management, 2 toilet blocks, 2 access roads, installation of 8 drinking points, 30 solar lights, 3 fire hydrants, among others. The visit of the German federal minister also strengthens the existing relationship between SOS Children's Village, the Gambia, and Hermann Meiner Fonds, Deutschland, and the Kanifing municipality, who earlier this year secured funding worth €768,683 to implement the BMZ Backwater Dumpsite project. At the event, the international director of SOS, Mr. Bernard Piot, said his institution is glad to be associated with such a project, especially the work about to be implemented to protect children.
I really want to thank all these partners for this very, very important project. Today we know that we need to protect more and more children. We need to be in line with the Child Convention for their rights. It's so important, and these projects are a clear message that we are all together working for their better future. We need to build their future, and we need to fight global change. And this project is really a good example of it.
KMC Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda says his council is working hard to clean the municipality and plans to close the dump site as part of his work. He thanked the German government through the ministry for coming to their aid on time.
We are honored to welcome the Honorable Minister and his delegation from the Federal Republic of Germany. His visit demonstrates the strong partnership that has been established between our people. The site of this meeting is of great importance to the residents of Bakote and the Kanifing municipality. Our council remains committed to the long-term goal of closing the Bakote dump site and converting it into a transfer station with the capacity of a material recovery facility. Today we celebrate the complementary efforts facilitated by the Federal Republic of Germany under the leadership of the Honorable Minister. The trilateral partnership between BMZ, SOS, Children's Village, and KMC is rapidly enhancing the management of the Bakote dump site and supporting well over 1,000 children from 200 families in the communities of Bakote, Dipakunda, and Manjaikunda.
The German minister, Dr. Müller, said children's welfare should be a priority and the Bakote dump site should be closed down soonest.
With our support, with German support, improvement living conditions for children around the largest dump site in Gambia. My ministry, Germany, made available 580,000 euro to do this within the next 2 years. It's about children's health and protection of environment. Your children need a better future. My message is for Gambia, children's future, schools, education must become first priority in the country.
The minister was also taken to the dump site by the mayor to have a first-hand knowledge of the area and undergoing work. The event also witnessed the handing over of equipment including quack bikes, fire extinguishers, tree planting materials and also the planting of 2 seedlings to mark the commencement of the planting of 500 seedlings for the project's green zone. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
The Ministers of Information, Justice and Agriculture appeared before lawmakers on Wednesday to respond to matters connected to their ministries. Alif Sise reports.
Appearing before deputies, the Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Ibrahim Silla, was asked to explain why Gamtel is losing their potential customers throughout the country, even though they are the gateway. Minister Silla attributed the losses to a lack of any meaningful network upgrade since 2013, a lack of nationwide coverage, and an unstable system that offers only basic voice and data services. He explains what is being done to address this.
Honorable Speaker, in an attempt to address its current network and billing challenges with a view to regain its position in the telecoms market and become a viable institution, GAMCEL, under the leadership of its board of directors and with the blessing of my ministry, has entered into a public-private partnership PPP with Space-Wide Innovations, an IT company based in the UAE, for a total modernization of GAMCEL's network.
Responding to questions on how much royalties is paid to GRTS, Minister Silla said the national broadcaster GRTS does not receive royalties payment from private radios and TV stations. And the government's policy on data governance, administration, protection and sharing, he said his ministry formulated a data protection and privacy policy and strategy in 2019, which was approved by Cabinet and seeks to lay the foundation of institutional and legal framework in support of this. On matters relating to the Ministry of Justice, Information Minister Ibrahim Silla, deputizing for the Justice Minister Daura A. Jallo, extended his colleague's apology for his absence, but not without lawmakers passing a motion that henceforth, for any absence when they are meant to appear, ministers must notify the office of the clerk and speaker. On government's plan to regulate rent, Minister Silla said the Justice Ministry is equally concerned about any hike in house rents. He describes it as a cross-cutting issue requiring broad consultation. He said there is a need to engage communities, landlords, and the local councils to understand the factors driving up rent and to ascertain whether non-legislative measures can be employed first or in parallel with any legislative measure. Ami Fabre, the Minister of Agriculture, was next and told MPs of plans to establish water drinking facilities for cattle in Dobo, Central Badibu, through the Adapting Agriculture to Climate Change project. Minister Fabre was asked to update the Parliament on the level of implementation of the $80 million route project in URR.
The national and the regional launching have been successfully done. Regional technical committees are set up in all the regions of the country and conducted their first meeting. RUS beneficiary in URR, Madam Speaker, the RUS project is targeting all the districts in URR, Jimara, Basse, Tumanna, Kantora, Wuli East, Wuli West, and Sandu, All the communities are targeted.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
From that report, we will take a short commercial break, but still to come, we have more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
South Africa Global is the first and biggest private estate developer in the Gambia and present in 7 other African countries. We take pride in leading innovation in all spheres of real estate sector in the Gambia and beyond. As such, we are launching the development of the first smart and modern office and retail towers in the Gambia called Taft Twins. The Taft Twins is located in the heart of the Kanifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive away from Banjul. Taft Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 square meters to over 1,000 square meters with 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24 hours electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shop. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333. Thank you.
Flight number 1517 leaves in 15 minutes.
Wherever, whenever, simply dial *1247# to transfer money, top up airtime, pay bills, check balance, and check statements. Speak to us today on +220-420-2275 or email us at gambia.contactus@sc.com. One bank, available 24/7. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Today, the 17th of June, is World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought. This year's theme is Restoration, Land Recovery, Building Back Better with Healthy Learn. Jennifer Sonko had a conversation with one of Gambia's leading environmental activists, Kemo Fati, and she now reports.
World Desertification and Drought Day is mandated by the United Nations to combat the degradation of land in arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid areas due to climate change and detrimental activities carried out by human beings, which leave an adverse impact on the environment. I visited the Gambian National Botanic Garden in Cape Point, Bakau, with Kemo Fati, founder of Green Up Gambia. Our conversation started with the need for Gambia to reflect on this day.
I think International Day to combat desertification and drought means a lot to Gambia as a country that is already existing in the Sahel. And of course, the Gambia has been championing efforts to restore degraded lands for decades now. Although we have seen also increase of degraded lands, but I think this is a day for us to recommit ourselves and renew our commitments to all the agreements that we have done, both internally as the Banjul Declaration and commitments such as the Paris Agreement.
According to the United Nations, restoring degraded land brings economic resilience, creates jobs, raises incomes, and increases food security. It also helps biodiversity to recover. It locks away the atmospheric carbon warming the earth, slowing climate change. The theme for this year should draw our attention to the condition of the Botanic Garden in Bakau. This area should have been dedicated to the collection, cultivation, preservation and display of a wide range of plants, but it is not looking good. Kemo Fati and his team are working on improving its condition.
Well, Green Up Gambia for a long time, not just the botanical garden, but looking at northern bank of the River Gambia, where we are facing more of degraded lands. We are focused on trying to restore ecosystems such as not just the botanical garden here, but as well as the medicinal garden next to it, to see what best can be done to maximize the potentials of places like this. This place has been existing since 1950. So we are looking at how can we be able to, bring back this garden, restore some of the indigenous tree species that are lost here.
According to the UN, experts believe we must stop the process of desertification immediately and maintain soil fertility and prevent soil from flowing into the water to stick to the current commitment by over 100 countries to restore almost 100 hectares of land over the next decade. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
In other stories, the Gambia Police Force Thursday revealed that 116 people have been arrested between 7th June and June the 13th. The disclosure was made during Thursday's weekly joint security update on Operation Zero Crime. Answane Sonyasi has the details.
These weekly press briefings are to update the public on the progress and challenges of the Operation Zero Crime. Flanked by public relations officers of sister security outfits, Police PRO Lamenjai revealed that of the 116 people arrested between June 7th and June 13th, following thorough screening, 23 were released, 35 were handed over to the Immigration Department for further action, 19 were handed over to the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, 31 are being processed, while 8 have already appeared in court on various offences, including possession of drugs and robbery, amongst others. Meanwhile, he calls on the public to support Operation Zero Crime to minimize crime in the country.
We have been able to uncover several cases as a result of the sharing of information that the public is doing. So we definitely want to commend the public for that, and also to encourage people to continue sharing information with the securities, so that criminal activities that are happening within their communities will be dealt with accordingly.
In a strong message to the public, Mamanding S. Diba, PRO of the Gambia Immigration Department, warns against violating the law, especially in lodging those with irregular residential status.
We continue to call on the general public. It is a blatant violation of our Immigration Act, precisely the Alien Registration Act, to harbor undocumented aliens in your premises. So this is an advice that we are going to give to owners of premises and landlords to ensure that every individual that occupies, that resides in their premises is duly registered, with the relevant authorities in the country.
Meanwhile, Captain Malik Sanyang, Deputy spokesperson of the Gambia Armed Forces, says contrary to online reports of competition, the National Guard's Operation Restore Sanity was launched to complement Operation Zero Crime.
Operation Restore Sanity is actually an operation that has come to further strengthen what the police is already doing. Operation Zero Crime, since at the beginning, has had all the security services partaking, and the Gambia Armed Forces is no exception in that. We are in full support, and we have been supporting from the outset.
In a message to political party militants, Police PRO Njai warned against wearing of security paraphernalia with t-shirts bearing political party logos, especially during the ongoing voter registration exercise and ahead of the December presidential elections. This, he adds, is a serious violation of the law, and if not stopped, may retard efforts geared to ensuring peaceful elections.
5 foreign nationals are currently in police custody for allegedly obtaining money under false pretense. Esonyasi again.
This fake money printing machine, fake money making chemicals, fake papers used to produce money, otherwise known as black paper, is what the suspects are said to have used to scam several individuals out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and claiming to have money doubling means. All 5 are currently in police custody, helping officers with their investigations. The staggering sum of $57,000 counterfeit cash has also been recovered. Explaining the tricks suspects used to scam people, Superintendent Buba Sise of the Police Fraud Investigation Department warns the public against dealing with people claiming to have money doubling means.
So they will use this machine or this equipment. Actually, it's not a machine because it is locally made. They will load this with money prior to your coming. So once you come, they will take this money, this black paper. They will insert the black paper here on this hole. And then they will press this red button here. And once they press this button, money will come out of this other hole. And it will be money, different from this black paper. Even though it is counterfeit, but it's still money. And then you'll be convinced because it is already loaded. So once the paper and the money they load in is exhausted, they will tell you that the machine has a problem. So they need to hire a technician to come and work on the machine. That's the second part of the scam. Now the technician is only available in Ghana or Senegal.
The suspects, who are non-Gambian, are believed to have accomplices who are Gambian nationals. However, the police say they are investigating, and anyone found to be involved will face the full force of the law. Superintendent Cisse again emphasizes the need to avoid becoming involved in such activities.
What we want to send to the public is that we should be very, very mindful. Our monies that we earn, we should jealously safeguard it and make sure that we don't easily part away with it. Nobody makes money in the Gambia. There's no machine in the Gambia that makes money. So let's not fall victims. The best you can do, if you are approached by them, because they are going around, they are targeting people, they look at how vulnerable you are. If they come to you and talk to you about black money, you have two options. Either to report them to the police or to walk away if you cannot. These are the two options you have, but never fall trap, never believe in what they are telling you.
The police are also calling on the public to report any such crimes to help minimize crime in the country. Answane Sonyansi for KTV News.
From that story, now we go into sports news. As the race to the Tokyo Olympic Games hots up, African champions Gambia are seeking a ticket to the Games in volleyball. More than 10 countries will take part in the qualification competition in Morocco next week for places in the Tokyo Games. I earlier on visited their training camp, and this is my report. Champions at the Africa Games in Morocco 2 years ago. Now qualification for the Tokyo Games is their focus. Both players and officials had gone into camp for at least a week in preparation for the qualification competition in Morocco. Coach of the beach volleyball male team, Pa Babukar Barrow, is confident of securing a qualification spot.
Gambia will surely make it, inshallah. If you look at the preparation that we went through, we are nearly a month in camp. Everything that we need, both technical, physical, mental preparations, we have done everything human possible to see that the team is well prepared for the challenge ahead.
Based in Qatar as a professional beach volleyball player, ranked among the top 50 in the world, and having taken part in several international tournaments, Seni Jao is optimistic of repeating the feat of their historic victory at the Africa Games in Morocco in 2019.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be in the national team. It's always a pleasure for me representing my country, especially in the higher level. Yeah, in 2019 we win the All African Games, and also our coach, our target was not to win the All African Games, it was to prepare for the Olympics, because that's what he always tells us. I select you guys to play because I want you guys to prepare for the Olympics. So right now all our target is to qualify for Olympics, and we hope so that inshallah we will qualify, because both the A team and the B team are well prepared.
Gambia is a minnow nation in many sports disciplines and often ranked among the lowest. However, so much has changed recently, especially in the lesser-known sports such as volleyball and athletics. One cannot forget the national football team securing qualification to the Africa Cup of Nations for the first time. So far, beach volleyball and athletics have brought the highest sporting glory to Gambian sports, at least at the continental level. If the beach volleyball team qualifies to the Olympics, that will be another notable achievement. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. We wish them all the best of luck, but just before we go, here is a recap of the main news headlines. Germany's Minister of Economic Cooperation and Development, Dr. Gerd Müller, called on President Barrow at State House. In a second engagement, Minister Gerd Müller visited Canifing Municipality, where a major project is underway to rehabilitate the Bakote dump site. The Ministers of Information, Justice and Agriculture appeared before lawmakers on Wednesday to respond to matters connected to their ministries. The Gambia Police Force have arrested over 100 people during Operation Zero Crime, and also arrested people who get money on the false pretense. In sports news, as the race to the Tokyo Olympic Games hots up, African champions are seeking a ticket to the Games in volleyball. We visited them earlier in their training camp, and they're in upbeat mood. And the death was announced today of Kenneth Kaunda, former president of Zambia, who has died at the age of 97. We will have a full obituary in tomorrow's news bulletin. That's all we have for you in tonight's news bulletin. Thank you for watching, but don't forget to join us at 10.